Hello，大家好，欢迎来到我们听力课程的远距教学这个也是我的第一次的尝试啊，所以有时候可能操作上会有一些反应不过来的地方，希望只是这2个礼拜就结束了啊。那这段期间我们就是收看网络上的教学，因为即使2周的隔离之后，如果恢复上课的话，我们的进度表上面呢，我们看看啊，其实就剩下2次的上课的课程啊，所以我反正就必须上到哪周就录到哪周的进度就是了。原则上回来我们就必须从第12课开始上。那这之前的小考也只能暂停啊。但是如果31号那天就回来上课的话，那我们就一定要有第10课的这个小考，好吧？还有上台要报告的同学啊，也要挤在这边啊，就看怎么样吧，反正这也不是我们能够控制的。OK，好，那我们上次上到101页嘛，所以我们就从102页开始啊。So let's start from page 102, 10.4 on your textbook. So here we might come across problems in a restaurant. What kind of the problems used to happen to you when you were dining at a restaurant? Here are some opening questions for us to warm up. For example, number 1, where is your favorite place to go out to eat? Yeah, do you have your favorite restaurants that you like to visit often? In Taiwan, we are a food paradise, right? We have all kinds of food. Taiwanese people are creative about foods. So, in addition to our local delicacy, we have um, all kinds of exotic restaurants, foreign restaurants, and a lot of all-you-can-eat places, right? Buffet at uh, the big hotels or buffet restaurants. Many 火锅 hot pot places are all you can eat with reasonable price. So I think options are a lot. I personally love hot pots and not the kind of all you can eat hot pots. Well, well, all you can eat buffet is not bad, but sometimes when you finish the first round, 你通常吃完一轮之后啊 you get bored, right? Those food which first look delicious become so plain, so boring. So I don't know. I personally am not a big fan of the buffet or all you can eat stuff. Yeah, I like to go to a local 火锅 place in Danshui, and I like their vegetable plate. Yeah, it comes with a big and a big plate with fresh vegetables of all kinds. They don't like artificial uh, food, artificial hot pot ingredients. 不用那种人工的火锅料，我超讨厌人工火锅料啊！人工火锅料都是面粉，都是粉做的东西啊，看起来不同的样子，但材料都是粉，而且加了很多添加物啊。But their vegetable plates is rich in various kinds of vegetables. I like that. All right, and number 2, how often do you go eat out, and Who do you usually go with? Well, nowadays, of course, my wife and I both work, and sometimes she works late or she gets tired after work, so we eat out quite often. I think twice, 3 times a week, or even more. And so if I eat out, I might send a line messages to my family members, telling them, "Well, we are eating out tonight, and does anyone care for eating out?" Then I would tell them place and time to join, and my kids would respond if they are interested or not. They would always tell whether they would join. And number three, the worst place. Hmm. Yeah, there were probably one or two, but I couldn't really remember because, well, bad memories are easily forgotten, right? But if I ever had some bad experience, most of the time it would be because of the server's manners, right? Servers means the waiters or waitresses. Now we call them servers. Sometimes they are absent-minded. Sometimes they not very polite. They like sort of throwing the food onto your table and making big noises, things like those. But I don't really remember the worst experience I ever had. Rarely. But I think that is a good thing. I mean, that could probably mean that in most eating places, the service is good, right? I don't know if you have the same feeling. Number four, what could go wrong when you go to a restaurant? Hmm, yeah, things could go wrong. In the old time, my biggest worry is um, if I might sit next to a smoker. But that was the old thing because nowadays guests are not allowed to smoke indoors, right? So smoking is not a question now. And but for now, the problem could be what? Could be the music is too loud or the music is not my kind of music, right? Sometimes I don't know. Do you agree that a restaurant should play music? I'm not sure. I personally, um, um, because who would really listen to the music? I don't know if the food is not too good. The restaurant owner might think of something to divert your attention. They don't want you to focus on food, so they play loud music, or I think uh, they have a TV right on the wall. So when you watch TV, most of the time you have forgotten what you are eating. And of course, sometimes you find something unusual in your food, like some kind of insects, flies, and most horrible is you found a 蟑螂, a cockroach in your soup. But luckily that had never happened to me before. It happened to my colleagues before, but uh, I've never seen a roach in my soup. But I better not say that. Okay, and what else? Yeah, again, the waiter's service manner, but sometimes, we are all human beings, and sometimes people uh, get into a bad mood, so you don't expect the person with a bad mood to provide you with good service 啊，人情绪不好，怎么可能这个会有好脸色给你看啊？And what else? Yeah, the food itself, right? Most of the time, you look at the photograph, they all look so tasty, but when they come to your table, they don't taste as delicious as you have imagined, right? 食物没有想象中的美味啊。And that could happen. And of course, like bills, sometimes they overcharge you. 他们这个给你额外收费了，有的给你算2倍的价钱啊。That could happen, yeah. So let's begin with the first part of the listening. And if you look at the pictures here, you might get some idea about what could go wrong in a restaurant. We are going to listen to 5 conversations, okay? And the first thing you want to do is to decide. So there is a person in this conversation who made a mistake, and who is the person? Is it the restaurant, the server in the restaurant, or is the customer? Okay, so number 1, who makes the mistake? Right? R, is it the restaurant? Or C, is it the customer? And so on. So let's listen to these 5 conversations. Here we go.
Audio 10.6. 1.
Excuse me, I'm very sorry, but I've just spilled my orange juice. I'm afraid some's gone on the floor, too. Could you possibly bring me a cloth?
Sure, that's no problem.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, don't worry. It's not your fault. It happens all the time. Would you like another juice?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
All right, so whose mistake is that? Is it R or C? Let's check the answer. All right, next.
2.
Excuse me, there seems to be a mistake in the bill.
Oh, is there?
You've charged us for 2 coffees and we only ordered 1.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'll get you another bill.
OK, thanks.
Right, so who makes the mistake? Number 2. The answer is the restaurant, who overcharged on the bill.
3.
Excuse me, could I have another glass, please? This one's dirty. It's got lipstick on it.
Oh, yes, so it has. I do apologise. I'll get you a clean one.
OK, thanks very much.
That's horrible. So what is your answer? Number 3. Number 4.
4.
Excuse me? I've got a bit of a problem. I didn't know that you only accept cash. And I don't have enough on me.
Yes, it does say no credit cards on the door.
No credit
Yes,
cards?
sorry. I didn't see that. Could I... Is there a cash machine near here?
There's one a few minutes down the road.
Would you mind waiting while I go and get some money out?
Not at all.
Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. That's fine.
All right. So this server, this waiter, doesn't seem to be very impressed. So number 4, who made the mistake? And then number 5.
5.
Excuse me. I'm afraid I can't eat this fish. It smells funny.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, it smells funny. It doesn't smell fresh.
But it is fresh. It was delivered to the restaurant this morning.
Well, you smell it.
Yes, you're right, sir. It doesn't smell fresh. I'm very sorry about that. I'll bring you another one.
No. I'd like to order something else, please.
That really happened to me before. So whose fault is that? Number 5. We have CRRCR. And now let's listen for the second time with the script. So this is convenient. I didn't know there is such function. Is there any way I could extend? Right. And that's the biggest I can make, is it? Oh yeah, good. You can make it larger, the font. Right. So let's take a look over the first talk.
Audio 10.6. 1.
Excuse me, I'm very sorry, but I've just spilled my orange juice.
Spilled 就是泼洒出来啊，把那个杯子打翻了。So you may imagine that the orange juice is all over the table, the floor, maybe?
I'm afraid some's going on the floor, too. Could you possibly bring me a cloth?
抹布啊 cloth.
Sure, that's no problem.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, don't worry. It's not your fault. It happens all the time.
All the time.
Would you like another juice?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Well, I like that when the lady offer if the man would like another juice. That means they could bring you a new glass of juice without extra charge. 通常这样说的时候，就是免费再补一杯给你了啊。有的话就根本就不理你了啊，即使这是付费的或者那种餐后的饮料啊。But some would, yeah, they really happen. I mean, either they didn't care to supply another glass, or they would just simply offer you an extra glass of juice. And that's very kind of this server. Anyway, it's this customer who spilled the juice. It's his fault, right? Next.
2.
Excuse me. There seems to be a mistake in the bill.
Okay, bill. The check. 账单有问题啊。
Oh, is there?
You've charged us for 2 coffees and we only ordered 1.
So to charge means to X the money of someone, and the customer ordered one coffee, but he is being charged with 2 coffees. Yeah, so that means, but he found out, right? He doesn't want to pay the extra coffee.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'll get you another bill.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Right. So, but this happens sometimes, right? Therefore, it's always okay when you are paying the bill. You should check your bill. You should look at the bill and to see if you are overcharged. But sometimes you're undercharged also. Then you should offer to pay the undercharged part of the money. Number 3.
3.
Excuse me, could I have another glass, please? This one's dirty. It's got lipstick on it.
Lipstick. 口红啊，口红印。That means probably they didn't even wash the glass. I think that's horrible. What would you do if this happened to you? Would you also ask for another clean glass?
Oh, yes, so it has. I do apologise. I'll get you a clean one.
Yeah, I do apologize. I really want to say sorry. I do apologize.
Okay, thanks very much.
So the restaurant
4.
makes the mistake.
Excuse me? I've got a bit of a problem. I didn't know that you only accept cash. And I don't have enough on me.
All right. So I'm surprised that, I mean, even in Britain, they people might come across same situation that the restaurants only accept cash 现金啊。So you cannot pay with a credit card. 台湾也很多这样店只收现金不收信用。有时候你觉得说，哎呀，这么大的餐厅应该收现金吧，应该收信用卡吧，那我就不用带太多现金啊。So this happens in Britain also. I'm surprised. 结果现金没带够怎么办？
Yes, it does say no credit cards on the door.
他说门口上面已经写了
Yes,
收信
sorry.
用卡。
I didn't see that. Could I... Is there a cash machine near here?
Yeah, an ATM.
There's one a few minutes down the road.
那个这条路走下去几分钟就有一个提款机。
Would you mind waiting while I go and get some money out?
Not at all.
Yeah. 那人家问 Would you mind？ 你要说 No, I don't mind。所以你回答是否定句Not at all. I don't mind at all.
Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. That's fine.
Five.
Excuse me. I'm afraid I can't eat this fish. It smells funny.
好，这个 funny 呢，不是好笑就是闻起来怪怪的，不寻常但用 funny 的话，听到的人比较不会那么受到冒犯嘛反正这闻起来味道就是不对，叫 It smells funny， 或者说 The machine is making a funny noise 不是说它发出好笑的声音，而是发出奇怪的声音有时候车子也会发出奇怪的声音。The car is making a funny noise. Funny means unusual.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, it smells funny. It doesn't smell fresh.
闻起来好像不新鲜
But it is fresh. It was delivered to the restaurant this morning.
Well, you smell it.
那这个 waiter 应该是 waiter 吧，男生的声音已经有点犯了服务生的一个大忌了，就是你不应该质疑客人的这个询问通常就是客人说 It doesn't smell fresh 的时候服务生就端起来就拿走了，说I'll get you another one 或者问他想要怎么处理，而不是跟他辩论说这个早上才到的这个东西早上才进货的，怎么会不新鲜在怪客人在找麻烦好，当然客人也有奥客啦，我们是说正常的情形之下，这个服务生应该就是直接就认了
Yes.
所以他不太高兴的 Well, you smelled it. 不然你自己闻闻看。
You're right, sir. It doesn't smell fresh. I'm very sorry about that. I'll bring you another one.
No.
他对那个他们的另外一盘，万一那个鱼一样臭的鱼不是白搭，对不对？所以他算了，不要再帮我换了
I'd like to order something else, please.
Yeah, so I'll try something else on the menu 我看我在菜单上的点别的好了，我就不要点鱼了。All right. Yeah, so very practical conversation here when different kinds of the situation that could happen. All right, next, based on the 5 conversations that we have just heard, can you write down the missing words from each of the conversations? We have the practice here, okay? Get your pens ready and write down the missing words. Number 1, conversation 1.
Audio 10.7. 1.
Could you possibly bring me a cloth?
2.
Don't worry, it's not your fault.
Now let's check the answers. Could you possibly bring me a cloth? Don't worry, it's not your fault. 这不是你的错啊 It's not your fault. Okay, next. 3 to 5. Listen. Write down the missing words, please.
3,
There seems to be a mistake.
4,
You've charged us for 2 coffees.
5,
I'm terribly sorry.
Terribly, again. Oh, no, it's possibly. Now we're terribly. Number 3, there seems to be a mistake. You've charged us for 2 coffees. Charge, 要钱,所费啊. I'm terribly sorry. Okay, number 6.
6,
I do apologize.
I do apologize. Do 在这边就是诚心诚意啊，诚心诚意的跟你道歉。
7,
Would you mind waiting?
8,
Don't worry about it.
Yep, it's easy. Would you mind waiting? Don't worry about it.
9,
I'm afraid I can't eat this.
10,
I'd like to order something else, please.
I'm afraid. 我恐怕 I'd like to order. 我想要再点啊，点别样的东西啊。Right. So, so here are some polite way in dealing with problems. 这边你会发觉，都是用一些比较委婉的、客气的、后退的一种语气啊，不要一口斩钉截铁说 "It's all your fault. What are you going to do with this?" 啊，不要那么冲啊。所以哎，好像有点问题 ，There seem to be a mistake 啊，There 把那问题飘到第三人好远的地方去了啊。所以即使犯错的人犯了错，他听到这样的话，他不会觉得很受到冒犯啊。You've charged us for, but I'm afraid 我恐怕 Would you mind? Yeah, would you mind my closing the window? Would you mind waiting for a few moments? Could you possibly bring me my wallet? Could you possibly lend me your laptop? I'd like to sing a song. I'd like to 我想要怎样啊 I'd like to 反正加一个 please 都是很有礼貌啊。Making an apology. I do apologize. I'm terribly sorry. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. 好，这听到人都会觉得蛮舒服的。It's not your fault. 不是你的错啊。That's it. That's 10.4. And next page. What have we got next page? Page 2, 103. And好，这边有，比如说有人写网志啊，然后客人在下面写评论嘛。Restaurant review 就是评论啊。Have you ever let a review on Facebook about restaurants or about the movie you have watched or a book you have read. You leave your review, right? For example, here's a Thai kitchen. 那我们有时候要找餐厅的话，就是先 Google 它的评价嘛，评价也是 review 的意思啊。And Thai kitchen 就是泰国菜，泰式餐厅。有一个叫李明，out of 5 stars，李明gives 4 out of 5. So that is a very high comment, very high praise about the restaurant. I discovered this place a year ago and I keep coming back. 1年前发现这个地方之后一直回头一直回来这里用餐，表示他蛮喜欢的。You sit at large tables which are shared with other people. Yeah, that happens. I mean, sometimes the restaurant owner would apologize that when the business is too good, when there are so many customers in the restaurant, you might need to share the table with other people. 因为是大桌嘛，然后你如果只有2个人，你可能要跟另外4个人并桌share the same table. It's always busy and the atmosphere is very lively. Lively 就意味着餐厅可能比较吵闹一点很活泼的气氛。The staff are friendly. Staff 里面的职员、服务员and helpful and have a good knowledge of the dishes on the menu. 因为是泰国菜嘛，在英国的话，你要很懂得泰式的料理怎么跟客人解释So you must have a good knowledge， 对不对？你自己如果在餐厅当服务员的话，那个 Are you familiar with everything on the menu? Yeah, you must have a good knowledge. 不懂要问厨师、问老板，这道菜什么成分、什么东西材料做的。有的客人会问连有没有辣这个最基本的都要分清楚，对不对？To have a good knowledge of the dishes. And there isn't a huge choice of food, but the food's tasty and a good value. 表示菜单上菜色可以选择不多choice 选择嘛，但是每道菜都美味，而且这个 CP 值很高good value 就至少没有物超所值的话，也至少就是你不会觉得花拳当冤大头。And you are usually served very quickly， 上菜很快。So it's a great place to go if you are short of time。就时间不够了，赶时间要快快吃一顿饭，来这里可以，他们上菜很快。And if you don't mind sharing tables and listening to other diners' conversations， 而且你不介意跟人家并桌并桌就要强迫自己听人家交谈的内容So you can imagine what kind of the restaurant it is, right? It's 因为 Thai food 对英国人来讲就有吸引力嘛，因为是外国餐厅。But 但是对英国人来讲，跟陌生人并桌那是一种奇怪的经验他先给你讲好了。Right, and then you have Isabel. She left 2 stars, which means she is not very happy with this same restaurant. I was really excited about eating at the Thai restaurants, but it was very disappointing. 她说刚进来很兴奋但是呢吃完就很失望你有没有看到我强调了 ED 被动态，因为人家都说好，所以你就觉得不错是人家给你的感觉你是被动的，但是吃完之后很失望是自己发出来的感觉ING 就是主动散发的力量ED ING 他很失望不对，应该说这个餐厅这个让人家失望，抱歉 it 它让人家失望，所以用 ING 散发出失望的力量And the location is great， 地点呢是很好right in the middle of town， 也表示说交通很方便，可能搭捷运就到，巴士就到。And the atmosphere is very cool and modern， 里面的布置 气氛啊，他先把好的讲在前面。The food is tasty, but it isn't good value. 好，前面讲说这个 good value， 可是他否定，他说我觉得这个价钱跟他的东西啊不太相称啊。Because the portions are tiny 啊，portion 就分量好小啊。大胃王的话吃2份都吃不饱。We weren't happy with the service either. 服务也不是让我们很满意啊。We couldn't get the waiter's attention for ages. For ages. 等了100年，怎么招呼服务生就是不过来啊。And when he eventually came， 好，最后终于出现了。He didn't listen properly to our order。然后我们点了什么呢？他也没有都记得很清楚啊。And forgot to bring my friend's main course。所以最后菜都上完了，我的朋友的主菜啊，都还没有上桌啊，也就是掉单了。So when it finally arrived, the rest of the food was cold. 他们大概还在等说这一道菜来，才要一起吃啊，才开动啊。结果等那个最后一个主菜来的时候啊，其他的菜都凉了。So all in all, it was a disaster. 真是灾难一场啊。We aren't planning to go back. 我们是不会再回顾的。不过本来嘛，餐厅比较忙，有时候你要体谅他会掉单，也是情有可原吧。虽然不至于不可原谅了。当然，我们如果是经营餐饮业的话，这个可是大的忌讳啊。因为我发现，餐厅再怎么打广告啊，都抵不过客人的口碑啊，口耳相传啊。你今天让一个客人开心，他告诉亲朋好友啊，同事什么都会来吃啊。亲戚的亲戚啊，家人的朋友什么都会来吃，对不对？你就无形中就替他拉了很多客人。但相反的，如果你一个人抱怨不满意啊，他跟周围的人讲，那些人听说这个餐厅服务很不好，他们也不来，那里的损失也是加倍的啊。It's the same reason。好，那么大概就这样啊，我们就来看最后一个部分，这个。Right, so page 104, we have come to the final part of Unit 10 on the video. And in this video, we are going to talk about the Koreatown in the city of New York. Koreatown means the small community where most Koreans gather, right? They either live here or they run businesses here. And yeah, if you are a Korean and you come to the United States, of course you feel very comfortable when you come to Koreatown, where you meet your own people, like Chinatown, like Little Italy, Little Mexico. In some very big cities, they have these ethnic communities gathered by people from the same country, from overseas. Anyway, let's watch directly the video with its subtitles.
This is New York's Koreatown. And Korea Way, a small part of 32nd Street between 5th Avenue and Broadway, is the heart of the neighborhood.
好，那这一带这个 neighborhood 啊，这个 Koreatown 的这一带是集中在他刚刚那个街牌都拍给你看了啊，纽约的32街跟应该说第5街跟百老汇啊，这个十字路口的所在啊，就是32街街区这个地方啊，是它的精华区啊。你看上面都是韩国人的招牌。
This area of New York is close to the Empire State Building, Madison Square Garden.
这是纽约尼克 特队的主场啊，麦迪逊花园广场
and Penn Station.
火车站、地铁站啊，还有刚刚前面看到帝国大厦，可以在这边找到这几个著名的景点。
So a lot of tourists walk through here.
观光客就会来造访。
This makes it a great place to do business, which many Koreans realized when they immigrated here in the 1980s.
那比起别的国家，韩国政府其实是很有计划的在协助他的国民哦移民到外国去哦。所以在比如说南美的巴西吧美国一些大城市或其他国家啦，反正他们都很有规划的来协助自己的老百姓移民到国外去。好，那在80年代，他们当然就发现这个地方很适合做生意啊，就纷纷搬到这里。Immigrate 就是移入，移到这个国家，像候鸟一样。
Soon the area was full of Korean shops, supermarkets, and lots of restaurants.
Right. 那这些都是民生必须嘛Shops, supermarkets, restaurants.
Today, Koreatown is a bright and bustling part of New York.
Bright, 亮点. Bustle means busy. So, which means it would attract a lot of tourists.
And if you want to try traditional Korean food, it's the best place in the city.
All right. 所以要尝试传统的韩国菜就是来这里最棒的地方。我记得上次我去纽约也是在一个中餐馆叫一碗什锦面了，我真的觉得我从来没有吃过那么好吃的什锦面不知道是因为就是在国外你会觉得自己这种家乡的口味的东西就很好吃，反正我就觉得那碗什锦面真好吃好，到这边说你要找最好的韩国菜，那么就是来纽约市的Koreatown.
This is Miss Korea Barbecue.
这叫高丽小姐 barbecue. 韩国人超爱吃烧烤，对不对？
They make authentic Korean food using traditional Korean methods.
这个是超棒的authentic 道地的，实在的道地传统的 authentic。对啊，你要说这个东西道不道地啊 ？Is it authentic？ 或者你要带朋友去 I will take you to an authentic Taiwanese restaurant 什么是 authentic Taiwanese restaurant？ 就是快炒店，对不对？台湾的最道地的台湾味那就是快炒嘛，不然就卤肉饭这个蚵仔煎臭豆腐authentic 道地的。
And one of their most popular meals is japchae.
Japchae 你从音来判断，你会觉得是中文的哪两个字啊？
Japchae is an old Korean dish. The word is actually two Korean words.
有两个韩文组合起来的。
Jap means mixed, and chae means vegetables.
Jap 杂 mixed, chae 就是菜杂菜嘛台语更传神了，杂菜对不对？杂菜咪杂菜表示它是混合各种蔬菜的一种料理。
It was first made over 400 years ago, and today it's one of the most popular dishes in Korea.
所以你如果去韩国料理店，他们有供应小菜的话，有时候你会吃到这一套，就是怎么样炒什锦的这个蔬菜嘛
It's also a favorite in Korean restaurants abroad.
他说是在国外开韩国餐厅里面呢，最受欢迎的一道菜。
So the chefs here at Miss Korea Barbecue are really good at making it.
Chef 大厨，餐厅的大厨叫 chef.
First of all, the peppers, onions and courgettes are prepared.
好，这个青椒、彩椒啊，洋葱啊，还有那个黄瓜啊，are prepared.
These vegetables are then added to the pan.
丢到锅里。
Then they are all fried together over a large flame.
Flame 火焰 ，large flame 大火快炒。我们知道青菜要用大火快炒啊，那个颜色才会鲜艳啊。
While the vegetables are being cooked, the noodles are boiled.
那么这一头在炒菜的，另外一头呢，赶快把面条煮起来。这个不是面条了啊，这是韩式的什么米粉，对不对？
These noodles are made from sweet potato.
哦，他说是那个用，这算冬粉吧 ？Sweet potato 就是指地瓜粉做的。
But the chefs here make many different types. As the noodles are boiling, the dish is seasoned and sauce is added.
Dish is season 就是调味啊，然后再加一些调味酱、调味汁啊。Sauce 就是像酱油之类的汁啊，调味的。
Once they are ready, they are all mixed in the wok.
Wok 让你想到哪一个字？就是炒菜的那个店啊，这个用客家话讲 vogue。我们同学有没有客家人 vogue？ 其实就是这个古文啊，因为客家话本来就是古时候中原啊，宋朝之前叫官话，就是 official language。那 vogue wok 是这样传过来的。锅子。
Finally, the chefs leave everything for a few minutes because japchae isn't served hot.
那这个炒什锦啊，是要冷的上桌的啊，所以它不是热乎乎的就端出来。我想热乎乎应该也很好吃啊，这韩国人大概喜欢把它放冷，还是因为韩国本来天气就冷啊，东西刚炒出来没几分钟就凉掉了啊。反正这根据它的传统，这道菜是要吃凉的。
It's served at room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature 就是室温啊，也就是凉，跟房间一样温度的菜嘛，就凉的菜。
This is the traditional recipe, but it can be made in different ways.
当然，从传统的这个料理之外呢，你也可以用不同的方式啊来做这道菜。
Some people add spices to make it hot and spicy.
有人加特别辣的辣椒。
While others add herbs to make it more savory.
有人加香菜啊，让它尝起来香气这个扑鼻啊 ，savory 就是说咬在嘴里啊，会有各种滋味的体验啊。
Whichever way you prefer it, japchae, like most Korean food, is healthy and delicious.
So they're healthy and delicious. OK， 好，那我们就第5课就上到这里为止。